you know, words like slut, whore, even, I mean, bitch is almost kind of reinforcing certain ideas of what, you know, a woman should be, you know, like passive as opposed to like aggressive.
I definitely think that I will do it to myself a lot. Like men, I don't think put each other down as much in, like in a serious way, and girls kind of become really like competitive and like hierarchical.
I feel like we aren't taking it seriously. I feel like there's just so many jokes, and like I make jokes like as well of just like, oh, like the girls are only here to find guys, like they only take the easy majors, and at Bucknell there's a culture that like guys are just better than the women on campus.
I think that sometimes women at parties are objectified, and you're not, sometimes, not in all party settings, but sometimes in party settings you're not thought of as like being a real person. It's just like somebody to hook up with.
Wearing certain clothing to parties so that you look like you fit in with the rest, in my case, women that show up, or even, you know, going out in general. Like that seems to be the main social scene that a lot of women especially associate with how they interact with each other. Like,
and you kind of see gender stereotypes in that there aren't as many female engineers, or, you know, there aren't as many guys taking French because that's supposed to be like a less masculine language or something. But I think people are generally interested in changing the gender stereotypes.
I've had somebody tell one of my engineering friends that they shouldn't be an engineer because they're a woman, because why should women be in math and science dominated fields? Which my friend responded back with, because I'm good at math and science, I think my engineering grade's higher than yours anyway. Women particularly end up in their disciplines, like what majors they choose. If it's math or science focused, people seem to be confused as to why women are in those fields.
Yeah, I'm in Speak Up, so in a lot of our presentations, we try to keep our examples gender neutral or talk about different kinds of examples and interactions, but
I actually preferred the one second semester. I think it made a much bigger impression on me in how I interacted with people, not just at parties and things like that, but on a daily basis.
I think that for a lot of people, there's that thought in the back of the mind that, like, you know, sexual assault happens, that people are forced into stuff in situations that aren't great. And I think a lot of people, I'd like to believe that a lot of people like have that thought in the back of mind that things are a little screwed up. And the Speak Up sessions, I think, really bring it forward to people. And I think that helps a lot. And I think it can be very helpful for people to sit there and realize that, like, this happens. Like, 1 in 5 women are sexually assaulted while they're at college. Like, that's messed up.
I remember my freshman year going to the Speak Up presentation, and it was pretty good, but it wasn't very interactive, and a lot of people just kind of sat there and didn't engage or take it seriously.
My first semester Speak Up session, actually, I don't think my hall in particular wasn't very interested and didn't really care. So it was hard for us to have an engaging conversation.
You are your first line of defense for your friends, and your friends are your first line of defense when you're at a party. Because when you're at a party, you know, administrators aren't going to be there, public safety's not going to be there. It's just you and the group you went with, and they got to be there for you 110%. And I think that's a really good point to get across to people, because it shouldn't be that way. It should be everyone watching out for everyone else, but it seems like there are times when it's not. It's just you and the friend you brought, or the 2 friends you brought to that party.
The people in Speak Up care about it so much, and we kind of assume that everyone else will, and that, you know, as you get older at Bucknell, you feel more responsible for the culture. But a first year who's here, you know, in their first couple weeks, they don't feel that same kind of responsibility yet. So I think we could do a better job of trying to communicate why it's so important that, you know, even just small words make a difference on the campus-wide scale.
It has to do a lot with hookup culture, and it has a lot to do with just there's no system. I mean, we have like Speak Up Bucknell, but that's specifically about like sexual assault, I feel like, versus just like treating people equally.
I don't know if others would agree with me. I think there could be another session pulled into the start of sophomore year. You're potentially going to be rushing, and you're going to be in these situations. You're going to be in these parties potentially a lot more than you were last year. And so let's talk about the situations that are happening on our campus, and let's figure out how to start bringing it down. Because I think a lot of people during that rush process might lose thought of that. And I think bringing it back to the forefront of their minds right before that or right after that could really help